Okay, everybody, thank you and welcome to our Factory of the Future, Shop Floor to Top Floor in Real-Time webinar, presented by Memex Automation, Microsoft, the MT Connect Institute, and Ellipse Solutions. Just to reiterate, please place your phones on mute to mitigate any potential background noise. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce the team who will be presenting to you today in order of their appearance. My name is David McPhail, and I'm the President and CEO of Memex Automation. We also have Dave Edstrom, President and Chairman of the MT Connect Institute, Dave Rourke, Manufacturing Consultant, Ellipse Solutions, Gil Garcia, Director of Manufacturing Industries for Microsoft, and John Rattray, Vice President of Memex Automation. Here's our agenda for today. We will be presenting the Factory of the Future and answering 4 important questions. What is the Factory of the Future? Why implement the Factory of the Future? How to get started implementing the Factory of the Future? And when should you start? We will then briefly discuss the significance of the MT Connect standards and the role the standards play in the Factory of the Future. Additionally, we will touch on the benefits of seamless ERP and MES integration and MES to shop floor integration, ERP, and the global vision within the Factory of the Future. This will be followed by a live demonstration of shop floor to top floor connectivity and a short summary of today's presentation. Due to the short, concise format, there will be no time for live questions and answers. We do, however, welcome any and all questions and encourage you to contact any of the presenters with them. Their contact information will be shown at the end of this presentation for your reference. Don't worry if you miss a point or two, as we will be posting the full slide deck for download at the end of the presentation. We will also be recording it and will post the video as well when it is available. What is the Factory of the Future and what is required to achieve it? The Factory of the Future is based on real-time evidence-based data collected at each manufacturing asset, such as machine, process, or personnel located on the shop floor. The Factory of the Future requires work order and results reporting to from the ERP/MES/shop floor in real time bidirectionally. The Factory of the Future includes raw material, work in progress, valuable tooling and fixturing, and finished goods tracked with RFID. The Factory of the Future is both vertically and horizontally integrated. Vertically integrated meaning shop floor to top floor, and horizontal meaning across the complete plant enterprise, integrating people, equipment, and process together in real time. The Factory of the Future is driven by a culture of continuous improvement. This requires benchmarking, analysis, corrective actions, and then repeat. And last but not least, the Factory of the Future survives and thrives on ongoing cost containment and reduction. Why implement the Factory of the Future? The benefits are many, but the top 4 can be summed up as follows. Increase throughput through collaboration. Increase awareness and visibility of equipment and personnel. Increase income from operations sustainably. And adoption develops and maintains a leadership role in manufacturing to stay ahead of the curve. The value proposition is immense. Some of the highlights include 10 to 50% in increased production, 10% operational improvement can yield a 20 to 60% improvement in income from operations, and a relatively short period to break even from return on investment. This is achieved through real-time visibility, downtime reduction, root cause analysis, and value stream analysis, and many, many other KPIs and benefits. How to get started on implementing the Factory of the Future. There are 3 main principles that you need to understand in order to successfully implement the Factory of the Future. They are: involve and empower the operator/shop floor personnel. Initiate and, more importantly, sustain a culture of teamwork. Adopt MES technology that connects the shop floor to the top floor ERP system in real time. When should you consider implementing the Factory of the Future? The associated benefits of adoption are compelling. A 10 to 50% sustainable increase in capacity utilization post-adoption utilizing a proven, available now solution can mitigate the risk and dramatically increase time to a go-live event. The time is now. Money is being left on the table, locked or lost in the past for each day that the Factory of the Future remains a concept, not a reality, on your shop floor. my pleasure to introduce Dave Edstrom, President and Chairman of the MT Connect Institute, who will be discussing the significance of the MT Connect standards and how it will drive the factory of the future. Please take it away, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. And it is a real privilege to be on here today. And Memex has been a real thought leader with MT Connect and has been huge contributors for quite some time now. So with MT Connect, the former president of AMT, the Association of Manufacturing Technology, made the statement that MT Connect will be more important in the 21st century than CNC was in the 20th century. And the reason that he made the statement is because if you don't know what's happening with your manufacturing equipment, such as machine tools and other equipment, it's hard to quantify, and what you cannot measure, you cannot manage. So let's take a look at exactly what is the technical problem that MT Connect solved. Well, it's known as the n-1 squared minus n problem. And if we look at just the simplest of shop floors, you'll see why it is such a big issue. So here we have 5 different machine tools, speaking 5 different languages, if you will. And now we have 5 different applications, A, B, C, D, and E. And these applications simply want to get information from these machine tools. Well, when you look at the rat's nest that's created here, the problem becomes each and every application must have a unique way or unique device driver to speak to each of the machine tools. So you can very quickly see how this gets out of control. And obviously most shops don't have just 5 applications, and they don't have certainly not 5 machine tools. So how MT Connect solves this problem is that MT Connect moves the translation where it belongs, and that's back to the actual manufacturing equipment, or in this case, machine tools. So if we have the same 5 pieces of manufacturing equipment in the 5 applications, when we put in MT Connect, if you look at the top one here, the example of being translated from one language to MT Connect happens there, and it happens for each of the 5 machine tools. Now, what happens is a big win on the application side, where the applications only need to speak MT Connect. So instead of having the 25 different ways to speak to them with the 5 applications, now you have 5 applications that only have to worry about one way. MT Connect is based on all the standards that run the internet, such as HTTP and XML. And what bottom line what that means is that's how websites speak to each other. You now, with MT Connect, you speak to your machine tool in a safe and secure method like you're speaking to a website. At the mtconnect.org, which is our website, we have a few guides, and actually both of these were led by David McPhail of Memex as one of the chairs or co-chairs. The first is, you want to get started with MT Connect, what do you need to do on the shop floor? And the connectivity guide answers those questions in a very straightforward and logical manner with a simple checklist. The other white paper that is available today at MT Connect, and you'll see a worldwide press release on this, is the other aspect of that, and that is the most obvious application for MT Connect is monitoring your shop floor. And this talks about all of the advantages of monitoring your shop floor, and it had a number of companies and end users that had put this together. There are over 100 companies that are part of the MT Connect Institute that are all working in a variety of ways to support MT Connect, with the end goal being different devices with a common connection. And here we see the evolution of really computing, but as we're all quite aware today, we've moved from way back in the 60s and 70s from doing mainframes to today, everything's connected. You have sensors every place. So the ability to take that data and turn it into information is really key. That's something that the term big data is going to become more and more important. And we see where the shift is with MES systems. And this is a key tool that will be used, and having everything networked from the machine tool right through your data center to the top floor is key. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. My name is David Rourke, and I'm a manufacturing consultant with Ellipse Solutions. And one of the applications that benefit from MT Connect is Enterprise Resource Planning. ERP is the software that manages the entire business. ERP integrates all aspects of the organization, and this integration helps improve employee productivity and increases the value of information. When ERP is integrated with manufacturing execution systems, the increased value of shop floor information not only improves employee productivity, the ERP MES integration improves the productivity of shop floor equipment and processes. Companies that have integrated ERP and MES realize the tangible benefits of reduced manufacturing costs and lead times, along with increased throughput and qualities. These companies also benefit from reliable and accurate shop floor information that drives continuous process improvement and creates the foundation for the factory of the future. By integrating ERP and MES, the factory of the future automates the flow of information from the shop floor to the top floor and throughout the entire factory. The factory of the future focuses on empowering and equipping employees, supported by the enterprise information system that was formed by the integration of ERP and MES. One of the goals of empowering employees is to maximize equipment utilization. When equipment is producing at optimal efficiency, more capacity is available and throughput is increased. This translates into greater profit margins. A paradigm shift is underway from a disconnected shop floor to a connected shop floor. The factory of the present has no connection between ERP and the shop floor. It's paperwork driven, it has limited real-time data, and there's no collaboration between operators and management. The factory of the future, by connecting ERP and MES, vertically and horizontally integrates communications. That is, from the shop floor to the top floor and throughout the entire shop factory. It also supports the internal customer, where we support the operator that drives continuous process improvement. And communication is electronic and not paper, and we take advantage of technologies such as RFID.
I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce Gil Garcia, Director of U.S. Dynamics Manufacturing Industry Business Solutions for Microsoft.
Thanks very much, guys. And I'm going to ask a rhetorical question and kind of answer it myself. So if the factory of the future delivers such important return on investments and it's so great, well, why hasn't everybody done it? Well, having been in the space for many, many, many years, one of the primary reasons folks have not done it, that is shop floor to top floor, is simply the cost. I have seen MES applications where the license fees for the software run $60,000 to $70,000, which is fairly reasonable. But guess what? Then the implementation or the connectivity to all those diverse PLCs is going to run you another $360,000 to $560,000. So I've seen MES proposals in the field where the actual MES implementation exceeds that of the ERP implementation. This is one of the reasons why Microsoft has embraced the Memex solution. Is their value prop when it comes to licensing and implementation makes that issue go away. So we now have an MES solution that's very affordable for the mid-market, and something that I've been recommending to any manufacturer who wants to connect the shop floor to the top floor. So when we talk about connectivity, in many cases we're talking about two-way connectivity. Frankly, in my field experience, most of the customers that I talk to are looking for feeding PLC data up into the ERP system so they can get information, real-time information into the ERP system in terms of productivity, in terms of products produced and throughput, but also on things like machine downtime and reason codes why. There's a smaller subset of customers that I've spoken to that are looking to pass ERP data, that is formulas, bills of materials, routing, and SOPs down to the PLCs. But really, the key benefits in any integration with an MES application is getting that production data and information up into the ERP system seamlessly and accurately in a timely fashion. You do not want factory folks to defocus from making product and focus on filling out forms or entering information on terminals whenever possible. So that integration offloads that process from the worker and collects the information automatically and seamlessly. So if we talk about, what are the ISO 95 standards, at level 0, the programmable logic controller, the PLC, is producing bits and bytes. And so you need to translate that into some sort of data that the ERP system can absorb. Most MES applications are working with things like historians that take that data and try to translate it into information. The beauty of the MES system from Memex is that the Memex application can talk to any PLC with a seamless integration. It produces its own set of dashboards that are visible to the factory floor people on large monitors, which again helps them with productivity. More importantly, it's going to upload that data into the Dynamics AX KPIs inside the role centers. So we're now turning that data into information and mapping those the actual results from the shop floor to the KPIs that we set up in the Dynamics AX ERP application. So it really is a truly seamless application. You'll be able to see that when John does his demo shortly after my presentation. When we talk about the benefits of an MES application, the ERP system is essentially a repository of information and helps you manage your business. But when we talk to manufacturing customers, both process manufacturing customers and discrete, what we're trying to do is increase the throughput without adding fixed assets. We don't want to fall into the paradigm that the steel industry and the paper industry fell into by adding capacity when they hit peaks. What we want to do is maximize the capacity that we do have on the shop floor without investing in physical assets. So, how do we do that? Well, first and foremost, improve the uptime. We want to minimize downtimes by unforeseen downtime, and MES systems will give you a predictive view of when machines are going to fail. We're going to be able to reduce costs by embedding maintenance records and alerts so we can see the history and kind of the analytical trends of that machine so we can better plan for maintenance. We're going to take advantage of this unused capacity that's kind of hidden, and if you look at the statistics, most companies are operating in the 40 to 50% range in terms of productivity. World-class productivity is at about 85%. In certain industries, especially process guys, we're also getting a nice integration to the quality data that's passing through different machines. But the most important benefit I can see from MES is taking advantage of that unused capacity and analyzing where you can improve throughput. So with that said, I encourage everyone to have a look at this solution. It's affordable today. Any return on investment, a simple 10% increase in throughput and capacity is going to deliver the return on investment on a good MES package. And as we say with ERP, if you can't measure it, you can't fix it, you can't improve it. And this is an application that's going to show you how productive you are and how you can improve your productivity in the factory of the future.
Thank you, Gil. I'd like to take this opportunity now to introduce John Rattray, Vice President of Memex Automation, who will do a live demonstration between MERLIN MES and Microsoft Dynamics ERP, all in real time. Go ahead, John.
Good morning, everyone. John Rattray here. And yes, we're going to have some exciting things to share with you. And what I'm going to show you first is a two-way link where we'll be able to download from Microsoft Dynamics, in this case the ERP system that we're using, right into the MERLIN MES system, and we'll be able to take results from the MERLIN MES system and automatically feed that back into the Microsoft Dynamics AX. So without further ado, let me just switch screens. We've got our production environment running here. I've got Microsoft Dynamics AX running in terms of this environment here is our ERP system that we use. I've got our MERLIN dashboard that's running here, and I can see a whole list of machines that I'm working with. I'm tracking metrics for overall equipment effectiveness, made up availability, quality, and performance. I'm going to focus on one particular resource here, the machine 108. I double-click on this particular machine, and I can see that I've got a particular work order that I'm running here. It's a 222-07. You'll note that for a second. Now what I'm going to do is go into the Microsoft Dynamics here. I'm going to create a brand new production order, and I'm going to call it ABC, and we're going to make it 008. I'm going to assign a part here as the gear part. I'm going to ask a quantity of, in this case we'll say a quantity of 5 of these to be done. I can set up the particular dates that I want to do and timing and so on, but I've got all this pre-set up within the records and structure within the ERP system. So I create the particular order, and that order gets set up. I can now filter out to find that particular order. I can see that 08 is here, so I highlight that particular one that's created as a status. It's reported there. So now I can get to the point of let's estimate this production order just to make sure we got everything allocated properly. So I do the OK for that, and it's now in the status of estimated, so we're ready to go. So I can now go to scheduling this particular one. I can go to the scheduling operations. I can see it's the same particular order that I want, so I say OK, I want to do that. And now notice that what we've come up with here is a dialogue to say that can we send it, this particular work order, electronically to MERLIN MES. So we're actually sending it out. So, okay, I'm going to send it out to MERLIN. We're going to go take a look to see what we have here. And notice we're within the Microsoft Dynamics environment. We've got all kinds of MERLIN integration parameters that we can work with. We've got manufacturing execution system, so it's all built in as an integrated solution to the Dynamics AX environment in this case. It is applicable to other ERP systems, but frankly, Microsoft Dynamics AX is the most flexible based upon its tool set and structure and design, and very much a leading edge overall solution. So well set up for that. If I look at that production order, let's look at the routing setup for it, and I can see the particular resource requirements. And you're going to see it's a requirement here is machine 108. So machine 108 is what we're working with here. What you're seeing in this demonstration here is the whole machine connectivity layer. You heard from David Ebstrom about MT Connect. There's also OPC, there's Fennec Focus protocols, there's hardware boards and so on. And what we're offering here within the MERLIN environment is a complete productivity solution of all the software and hardware from a single source that can tie it all together. There's many ways of connecting. Here's an example on an Akuma PC-based control. You can see the MERLIN software running right at the machine in itself. We can get connections directly from the machine with MT Connect capabilities built in. Very elegant, good solution to work with. Older legacy machines, here's an example of an Akuma lathe where one of our Memex boards is physically connected to the machine. We're picking up digital signals, e-stop, alarm, in-cycle, door open, chuck open, all these different things that can give us status about the machine operating in effect in the right sorts of way. So let's look about results getting back to AX in itself directly here. And I'm just going to, since I'm here, refresh this particular screen. And you see now the work order ABC008 that we just created for 5 particular parts, dates required in here, is ready and set to go. It's in the queue within MERLIN in itself. And what I can do is physically drag and drop onto the particular machine, and I'll refresh this here, and you see the work order is actually running on the particular job in itself. We're going to go right back to the MERLIN dashboard, take a look at this particular screen, and notice now the work order ABC008 is already loaded on the machine. And from the operator's perspective, if I go to the operator portal, this is what the operator sees. Here's the work order that he's running, parts required, everything's all set up and set to go. And so once this work order gets run, and there's a 22-minute cycle time on this particular part, so it's going to be a couple of hours to run, I'll show you one that I've already run through and come together and show you the results in terms of it working. So let's pick a particular one, and let's say it's this ABC001. I ran with 20 parts here. I can look at the, take a view of this particular one, and let's look at the report it is finished. And I can see that in this particular case, I check the lines in detail. I see that this particular part, same gear part, same machine that we ran it on, had 20 good parts and 2 rejected parts. And so this has all come back automatically from Merlin into Microsoft Dynamics AX. And kind of the proof positive on the whole thing is to take a look at it from the within the Merlin environment, and I pull up our report writer. I filter it down by 2 particular days, yesterday and today. I'm running a particular production report. I have a whole host of reports, virtually unlimited reporting. I can filter and subsort and do all kinds of different things, immense amount of detail. But in the interest of time, I'm just going to focus on this one machine 08 and this one particular work order. And let's take a look and see what we ran here. So I run the particular job, and I can see it's the details of actually what was produced, the work order of the part, when it was completed, the actual timing, the run minutes, the standard minutes, the run hours, what's involved. You'll notice we produced 22 parts, which is the 20 good parts plus the 2 scrap parts. And I've got subtotals and grand totals and everything else. And when you run a full production environment with multiple machines, you can sort and subtotal versus any particular which ways and forward. So you've seen here at this particular point a quick overview of the system running in itself, and we've sent results from the MES back into the ERP system directly. The benefits, as David mentioned right up front, are in the 10 to 50% range. Significant amount of benefits of an increase in efficiency. We've seen many customers achieve over 100% in certain situations. But this is what manufacturing and around the world needs to do, is to become more efficient on a competitive basis, and you first need to understand what's happening as it works through. Speaking around the world, we have all kinds of installations around the world using our system in various flavors and forms, and all types of manufacturing and endorsing these types of solutions. As a summary, in terms of a wrap-up, and one of the action items you can do is certainly call Memex for a detailed one-on-one review. We recognize this is a brief presentation. Obviously, your situations are going to be very different. We'd like to focus with you. We look at choosing a project leader, starting a pilot machine or sale of operations, choose your operative support staff, collect data, set your benchmarks, connect to your ERP system, review weekly, challenge your performance complacency, and repeat the process back and forth. It's the whole continuous improvement theory of constraints. Identify those particular constraints, fix them, and move on to the next one. It's what we do and exceptionally do very well. We do have many questions, you may have many questions, and we have many answers for you. The contacts here are available. Feel free to contact any of the group that's on this presentation. And again, as David mentioned in the beginning, this presentation is available for download at our particular website, so feel free to find that. Certainly, we look forward to working with you. David?
Okay, well, so I think everybody here has seen what the potential for the Factory of the Future could be, and it's available today, and we'd like to thank you for your time and taking time out of your busy schedule to review our presentation. And with that, I think we'll end the presentation. Thanks very much.